What's up guys? Last video that I uploaded, Sarah and I just bought our first rental property. I said I would upload a video that has real estate investing things and tips. This is not that video, so instead what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you 10 to 12 real estate terms, whether you're buying, selling, or investing, that you need to know and understand. And unfortunately, I've drank an entire pot of coffee before this because there's 10 to 12. I've got to bust through them. That's a good cup of joe. Let's go. The first thing that you have to understand what it is real estate itself. So what is real estate? Real estate is actually the land that's underneath the house and the house itself. Some of you people are like, well, there's sheds and stuff, that's personal property. We're not talking about that, we're talking just about real estate. The cool thing to think about when it comes to real estate is as the population grows, land does not. We found all the land that we can, so land just appreciates, which means gains value. The second thing is your mortgage, which is what you're paying the bank. It's your principal and your interest. The next one's escrow. What they do is they take your taxes and your insurance. They use last year's taxes. They prorate those throughout the year just by taking the sum, dividing it by 12. They take your insurance policy, divide that by 12. They add those two numbers together on top of your principal and interest, and now you have an escrow. So what an escrow account does is it takes those and it prorates them throughout the year. So at the end of the year, you're gonna get a tax bill and an insurance bill is the easiest way to say that, and you have to pay those things. What the escrow does is it divides that out through the year, so you get the bill, but you've been paying on it all year, so then you're good to go. That's escrow. And there's a little acronym that I use to keep the two separate. It's PITI, P-I-T-I. PI is principal and interest, which go to your mortgage. TI is taxes and insurance, which go to the escrow, but they all end up on your monthly payment. So you got PITI, that's your monthly payment. Fourth is your down payment. That is what the bank requires you to have in the game. You got to put it's 3% to 20%. You put that down, it shows the bank that you've got skin in the game and you're willing to play the game. Five is closing costs. That is anything that you need to close on the home. And so for all you people out there that are kind of wanting to know the investing side, this is more for you. So the appraisal is what determines the value of the home. Equity, which gets a little confusing, but let's say there's a $100,000 house. You put 20% down as your down payment. You have 20% equity in the home. The bank has the other 80% equity in the home. There's only 100%. And as you pay it down, you gain equity, so on and so forth. Cash flow, after you have the rental and it's occupied, cash flow is the extra money that comes from that every single month. This is passive income. This is why most people get into real estate investing. And then your net worth. This is not like your net income. This is not like what you take home every time. This is your assets minus your debt. Whatever that number is at the end of the day is how much you're worth on paper. And I saved the two biggest for last, because it's refinance and cash out refinance. Refinancing, what it does is, so that same example we used earlier, we've got 20% equity and 80% equity. Let's say it gets down to 50-50. So the bank owns 50%, you own 50%, and you guys are still at 50% equity. You refinance because you only owe 50% of that. So it pays off the old loan and you get a new loan just to cover the part that you don't own. So most of the time you refinance to get a lower rate or a lower monthly payment. So a cash out refinance is the same thing as a normal refinance, with one caveat. Instead of you getting lower monthly payments, your payment's gonna be bigger because what you're doing is you're taking cash out of the loan. So you're liquefying your part of the equity. So if you have 50% equity and the bank has 50% equity, you're saying, hey, I need $30,000. The bank says, cool, let's do a cash out refi. You can get $30,000. We now have 80% equity in the home. You're back to 20. Your payment goes up and you start the whole process again, except for now you have 30 grand. If any of this is confusing, that's totally okay, because I've been running around with people for 2 years trying to figure it out. It seems simple enough, but I guarantee you, if you use these words and you go talk to some of your friends about any of it, you can just sprinkle these words in anything. You're gonna get this weird look because it's foreign language. This stuff was not taught to you. There's no reason for you to know that. But if you're interested in investing or anything, even buying or selling a home, seriously, look into this. It'll make you a dangerous buyer. Anybody that I work with, I want you to be dangerous. I want you to understand exactly what's happening as we go through the process. I was going quick. If you have any questions, please let me know. I apologize for how quick I'm talking. I absolutely love this stuff. I've got book recommendations. Is there anything that you want to know? There's so much more I can go into, but I'm cutting myself off because if I keep going, it's just going to get really complex and really strange, and I'm really going to geek out. And we've got another video coming out next week, so I'll see you guys then.